All right, mic check. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How's everybody doing? Happy Wellness Wednesday. If I'm coming through okay, give me a 1 in the chat and we will get this party started, honey, because we have Winter Williams in the building. She's upgraded she's actually Winter Harris now, and I'll let her give you a little bit of background about the name change. But honey, she is here backstage, and she looked good. She looks good. They say I'm okay. Y'all are giving me a 1. Well, first of all, if you're new to the channel or if you're just tuning in, welcome to the Palace. I am Queen Sheba. I cover a variety of hot topics specific to reality television. But most importantly, I hone in on the psychological and the behavioral traits of the Black experience. Let me adjust my light because I see a little bit of something going on here. Hold on. All right, so that looks a little bit better. I can't be out here in these YouTube streets looking a mess, y'all. But listen, Winter is here. And honey, Winter said, I said, Winter, they're going to want the tea. Can you give us the tea? She said, yes, I can. And without further ado, hold on, let me get this party started. Right, we got to kick this off the right way, okay? Just in case some of you are not familiar with Winter Williams, let me give you just a little bit of a preview for what's coming down the pipeline for Love and Marriage DC. Season 2.
DC is the city of pure craziness. What they're claiming, the Samuels are looking to divorce.
They say divorce or separate.
What? The book is officially out this Sunday.
I cannot put this book down.
I don't have time to take a break. But I haven't been able to. That's me excited.
So they're renaming my street that I grew up on Quicksilver Way.
I'm Joy.
And I'm Clifton. Love, sex, and paychecks.
Clifton kind of saw Ashley rolling her eyes. That bothered him.
Where is Monique at tonight?
I thought she would be here.
Man, stop playing with me for these people, man. Conversation.
Wait. Keep playing with me, and I'm gonna stop playing nicely. Who's playing with you? It's my babe. Chaos. A whole bunch of drama. Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central. Part of Real Drama Weekends on O.
All right. Yes. Let's welcome Winter to the Palace and to the panel. Welcome, Winter.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. Oh, goodness. Every time I see the clip, I'm like, oh, goodness. Y'all don't even know the half.
We want to know the half. That's why we're here. Listen, first of all, you look damn good. What inspired the new hairdo? Tell us what's going on.
So I have no control over my hair choices. Corey, my hairstylist, does whatever he feels like I need to do to fulfill the assignment. We had Love and Marriage DC Season 2 premiere night last night, and we had a cast photo shoot over the weekend. So we had to wear all black, and he said, listen, I know you guys can't wear accent colors, but I'm going to turn you platinum blonde. And I said, okay.
Well, we are loving it. The chat is loving it.
Thank you.
Bridget Owens says, yes, Winter, loving the hair. Latasha Jones is loving the hair. Tamara Morgan, welcome, Winter. Let's see. Yvette Bell, she says she's going to have to tune in. I think the hair did it. And you know what they say? Anytime a woman changes her hair, she's off to making powerful moves.
Yes.
A new beginning.
So true.
Listen, I want to jump right in, but I'm trying to warm you up.
Yes.
Hey, brown skin girl, another YouTube blogger. She said she loves this look on you, Winter.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, we saw a clip from the premiere.
Yes.
Okay. You have 2 new cast members, Joy and Clifton.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So the main cast has switched it up a bit, or been switched up a bit with the exit of Monique. So you have myself with Joy and Clifton, and then the Silvas and the Tylers returning. And then we have the friends of the show, which are the Duncans and Ashley's best friend, Alicia.
Uh-oh.
So,
go ahead.
Yes. So what I will say is that I have said this across the board. I feel season 2 is hands down better than season 1. Um, it's just a lot more. I don't know what it is. I
Is it
feel
because Monique is gone? Keep it real.
like
She did not spare you.
she did not spare me. And I feel like she unfortunately wasn't the right person to anchor this group, only because she was getting to know pretty much everyone, with the exception of Tasha, who wasn't a big enough factor to really make a splash, if that makes sense. And so when we had conflict, everyone kind of went to one side, which I feel split the fan base in a way that I didn't think it needed to be split season 1, because the fans were like, oh no, we're not going to let her get ganged up on. So they heavily made up the difference for me. So it's great for me. I love the fans for it. They are a large reason why
Yes.
I am back in main cast. But
Yes.
I just feel like now there's a balance that we did not have season 1. And it's just a better vibe overall. I really, really like the
Oh,
vibe.
wait a minute. Hold on. Let me marinate in that, because that's surprising, right? When you
Yes.
think about the introduction of the show, and just Monique giving a little bit of background about her being able to have some type of control and leverage regarding production, and
Yes.
to hear the cast say, you know what, actually, now that, there was an unplanned interruption, things are actually off to a better start than season 1. Imagine that.
It's true. I mean, it's no shade to her whatsoever. I mean, I think every last one of us are grateful for her mentioning us and putting us in this position. But hands down, it just is. I know Carlos has got to feel like he has a brand new show on his hands. Everyone brings it, everyone shows up, everyone is their authentic self. There is no heavy focus on one drama over the other. And I think that was also an issue. There was too much focus on my drama, which honestly put me at a disadvantage, because I don't feel like the fans got an opportunity to see me outside of the
Mhm.
drama, but B, the fans grew tired of it. They really were just sick of it. And I don't think it was good for us as a whole. Granted, it did secure us a season 2, but I think the balance that we have this season, I just think we're going to attract viewers that we would have never
Oh my god.
attracted before, because it comes in blazing hot. Like, it comes in smoking and it doesn't end. So
Oh.
it doesn't end.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Winter, I didn't expect you to come in this hot. I didn't expect you. I knew you changed your hair, but listen, this is amazing, because I feel like this is what the fans are asking for from Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? And to hear you say, "Listen, honey, say no more." We learned that we've
We did.
learned by watching, and not only that, we've course corrected. And I think it's very interesting that you use the word balance.
Yes.
We're implementing a little bit more balance. And you stated that the cast seemed to hone in
Mhm.
on your situation. Was it your situation or your status as a woman that was about to be newly single? And I'll tell you why I asked that. Go ahead and answer that.
Oh, goodness. I'm going to be honest. For me, I do feel like season 1 needed drama. And I feel like I was the only one who was willing to be completely transparent about her real life drama. So there was no faking for me. I was not faking. This was not a storyline that I just put together to get on the show. I wasn't even supposed to do more than one episode. I was putting my real life out there and really on the line, because reality TV is brutal. So I just feel like for me, it was the only drama that could really be honed in on, because it was the only drama. It was like the only horse available, so everybody rode it. So,
Well, we've seen friends of the show come in
mhm.
and completely flop. epic fails when we think about the Love and Marriage franchise.
Yeah.
So you shared that you were only supposed to do one episode, right? One scene, I think.
One.
And here you are. And I think what really made me fall in love with you. At first I was like, I don't know, child. I don't know, because I kind of gave you a hard time. But girl, you held your own.
Yeah.
And I felt like, as I think the odds were stacked against you, the more I really looked at it from a fair perspective. And I'm
Yeah.
like, are they really coming at her because she's a single woman? And sometimes your status is often weaponized amongst a group of women when you don't have a man. Does
Right.
that make sense?
Absolutely. And I think there was some of that. I think there was definitely some of that. And I also don't feel like coming in as a quote unquote Christian helped at all either, because I think there was this expectation for me to just kind of take it. And that's just not my personality. I mean, I love the Lord and all, but try Jesus, not me. And I could not deal. Like, it's not in my nature to just sit and take it. So yeah, I think being the only single woman, that was actually used a number of times season one. Like, well, you don't have a man, you're not married. And it's like, well,
Yeah.
technically, legally, I was married. We were just separated legally, but I was
Yeah.
still attached to another person until things were finalized. So I don't know why we do that to each other. It's unfortunate that we use the position of marriage as such a badge of honor in a society
Mm-hmm.
where we have so much more equality as women than we did, and we're not property anymore. Granted, marriage is a beautiful thing and I love it and I believe in it. But at the end of the day, there are some powerful and incredible women who are single. I mean, let's talk about Mel, for instance. She's
Yeah.
holding it down. She's having one of the best seasons of her life, and yet she's single. I don't think she'll be single for long, but I'm just saying she's really holding her own. And I think she's really paving the way for women like me to be in this space and operate with confidence and not feel like we are somehow less than because we don't have a ring on our finger. No, I am who I am, and I'm still just as capable. I'm worthy. I'm deserving. I say this all the time. Listen, out of anybody on this cast, I earned my spot. I earned my spot this season.
Hush your mouth, like the old folks would say. Girl, listen. This is so good because the fans are demanding that the cast members show up
Yes.
within the Love and
Let me
Marriage
ask you this,
franchise.
Melody. Based on
Sorry. The fans are demanding that Carlos make them work. And I love the fact that you said, I earned my spot.
Yes.
I'm completely transparent, main cast member or not. I'm going to bring it when it's lights, camera, action. Now, I think Ashley, from my perspective, I could be completely wrong, on the outside looking in, took up more of an issue with your status. Let me say this, a little bit more vocal than the other cast members. Would that be correct?
Absolutely. Hands down.
Okay.
We
Okay.
address that.
Why do you why do you think that was though?
I don't know why. I honestly believe that she underestimated me. I do
Mm,
believe that. I believe that she's like Monique in a lot of ways. Monique studies reality TV. She is a student of it. She pays attention to it. And Ashley's very much the same. She's a student of it, and which makes them good at what they do when they do it. However, I think they also come in and size people up. They try to get a feel for, this person or that person. And I don't think she sized me up all that well, and probably was um, not expecting her and I's interaction to go down the way that it did.
mm.
So I think there was a little bit of underestimation. And I just think too, she probably has trauma with women. I get that from her, where it's just a lack of trust in general. Like, she trusts her people that she knows, but to just be welcoming and accepting to women off the bat in general, I don't get that vibe from her. So I think that I was going to get sized up regardless.
Oh, wow.
And quite naturally, as soon as she realized I had a little mouth, was just going to be a target from her standpoint, regardless, single or not. I really don't think it would have mattered in the grand scheme of things, but it was the one thing she could keep digging at because I was going through a divorce. But it didn't bother me anyway. I don't consider being married a badge of honor. I know plenty of married women who are miserable. I really, really do.
You said it. I did.
I do.
Where are you and Ashley now?
We are in a much better space. We understand that we are coworkers. We are coworkers. I don't think the fans want us to I don't think the fans want us to be at each other's throats. That doesn't make for good reality TV. At some point, the fans get sick of it. And I think we get sick of it. No one wants to exist in a toxic environment. And it really ended horribly. Like season 1 did not
Yeah.
end on a positive note. That reunion was very toxic, in my opinion. And I've been very vocal about that. And you know, people understand how I feel, and I haven't changed my tune. So we both, I feel, have just really grown up being reality TV newbies. But, you know, we're still Winter and Ashley. I mean, I don't think people should all of a sudden expect us to be holding hands, singing Kumbaya. We just learn how to coexist.
I love it. The fact of the matter, as you said, the fans do not want us to remain in a place of toxicity, nor do we want to. That's a really tough space to hang on in suspense. How is it that cast members come to stay there year after year after year? Is it more of a part on production to not nudge them along? Tell us how do you get a cast that remains in toxicity where they never move past the darkness, the arguing, the fighting, the bickering? How does that happen?
Ego.
Mm,
It is important to know that we are not forced to ever do anything. We always have choice. And anytime there is a choice being made by cast to stay in a specific environment, negative space, toxic space, there's a choice being made. It really takes being able to manage your ego and your pride. And a lot of people do not want to. A lot of people do not want to be the bigger person. That may mean that you're in spaces with people you know in real life you may not really be friends
right.
with, but in this space, how can we work together? Yes, we still may come for each other, but how can we respect each other's boundaries? I think I've just done a lot of healing work and internal work since my time on the show. And one of the things that I feel like reflectively I can say as a cast member is a lot of us don't realize in reality TV that we're still dealing with human beings. And we spent most of our time triggering each other and not
Mm,
extending the kind of grace that we should extend just another human being, friend or not. And so it would have been nice, let's say the vegan dinner, for Ashley to maybe have her questions about how I ended up in the space that I'm in, but to also say, you know what? I don't understand how you marry a man and you don't know that he lives in his parents' basement, but that sounds tough. How are you navigating that? Or can you explain a little bit more? Because I'm just confused. It was the delivery to me that came across in such a combative way, which honestly put me on the defense because I was triggered. And so I immediately fire back when I hear, you know, Quick also making his comments.
yeah.
He's coming for my livelihood and my integrity. And at the end of the day, I don't care. There's plenty of people. Let's take Dr. Phil or Iyanla. They have had plenty of failures in their life, but they're still qualified to do what they do. A failure doesn't make me less than. In fact, a lot of my mistakes do qualify me. And
Mm.
so, you know, you see things like that where it's like, where's the grace? Where's the humanity? But likewise, me making the comment with Monique, and even if I never spread a rumor, which I never did, I never told the rumor, I never spread it. But just thinking, Winter, was that the best thing to say that you heard rumors too? Did you have to say that? You could have just let the comment stand that Monique said and
Yes.
kept going. I did not know that that was a trigger for her. That's me not showing grace and not understanding humanity. If the shoe was on the other foot, I would have responded the way that she did, if I'm being honest. And so I just think reflectively, like reflection is a beautiful thing. And I think wholeheartedly, for me personally, it's changed the way I show up. Not necessarily, it hasn't changed my sassiness and the way that I am
Hmm.
personality wise, but it definitely has made me more intentional about how I choose to show up because
I
I
love
know that
it.
I have choice.
I
And
love it.
so I think as a cast, when there's conflict, you have to utilize the power of choice and humanity and grace and be mindful that, you know what, triggering is real. And I don't think we're always mindful of that, especially in reality TV, because at the end of the day, we're still human.
I mean, I could not have said it better. Like that's so powerful. Everything that you're kind of laying out there to give us a little bit of background of how things work, but also how people have choices
It's
of
so
how
true.
they show up in reality TV. We did not know that Monique and Ashley study reality TV. They
Yeah.
study the people that they're going to be filming with. Wow, that's a huge piece of information. With that being said, um, how are you and Arena this season?
You know, I actually ran into both Jamie and Arena at a Christmas party,
Mhm.
which was very unexpected. And we, prior to this Christmas party, had not spoken outside of one scene that we had done. We were not in a good place.
Right.
And so at this Christmas party, we were just able to have some time to have a conversation. Jamie, her, and myself, and we were able to move past that. And so we're actually good. You guys will see us commenting. We unblocked each other, so you guys will see us commenting on each other's, social media currently, and really just understanding the assignment. But reality TV unscripted, it ain't nothing fake. So when stuff goes down, it goes down and we address it. But we just know how to leave it on set and clock out and continue to respect each other. So it was nice to see everyone at the cast premiere last night. Um, we'll get to
Oh, hold
other
on, hold
news.
on. Let's jump in. Hold on, but somebody said Donna Clay says Jamie better not act like you're a man and buck up on you anymore. I know that's right, Donna.
Amen, Donna.
And so brown skin girl wants to know: have you seen any of the episodes yet?
I saw about 15 minutes of the first episode last night. That's all they
Okay.
give us.
What are your
And
thoughts?
uh, this is where, while I may not have agreed with how Monique moved all the time last season, I still consider her an associate of mine that I'm cool with. And I am bothered by what her response may be. I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. Um, we'll have
Speaking
to
of
see.
Monique, what's the real reason Monique and Chris didn't come back?
It
Based
really
on
was.
what you know.
So believe it or not, Monique and I share a glam squad. And so I went to a birthday party that she and Ashley Darby planned for our glam squad together. And I had an opportunity to speak with both her and Chris for a pretty significant amount of time. We had a really good conversation and really was able to move forward. I knew at that time that they were in the middle of contract negotiations and not necessarily seeing eye to eye, and was kind of on the fence about whether or not to return. So I knew that from them. It wasn't my place to divulge that information prematurely, excuse me.
Mhm.
So it was contract negotiation. I believe from her standpoint, Own pulled out of the negotiation and she found out by them saying, hey, we're going to move forward with the remaining castmates that we have, and Winter, you're up. So,
Hold
um,
on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. So Own decided at the last minute, you know what? We're going to go for Joy and Clifton by Chris and Monique.
I don't know that it was a go for Joy and Clifton. I want to believe that Joy and Clifton would have came on as friends of the show anyway, because they're very, very close to the Tylers, very close.
Okay.
So you guys would have gotten them in some capacity regardless. Let me just say that. You would have. You would have seen them. The tricky part was just, hey, we're going to go. We believe we can move forward with the core we have, and we're going to keep trudging ahead. And I don't have any knowledge of numbers or, what the situation was. I just know that she herself has stated, hey, we found out by the cast photo dropping with just the Silvas and the Tylers that they weren't negotiating anymore.
Oh. Oh, she didn't tell that part. But okay. But no, thank you. Because she explained a portion of it on social media. But no, that's very important for us as viewers, right? Because a lot of times as human nature, we tell the part that benefits us, right? That's just human nature, right? To make ourselves look favorable. Oh, speaking of Joy and Clifton, and you say that they're good friends to the Tylers.
They are.
Were they good friends to the Tylers, to your knowledge, while they were on Ready to Love or post Ready to Love?
I don't know their history. If I'm being completely honest and transparent, I have no idea. I'm going to assume that it was probably after, because that's when they became a couple. But, DC is very small. It's
Okay.
big, but it's small. And it wouldn't surprise me if they were already interconnected through all of these micro circles that run through DC. Everyone is one or two people away from knowing someone. It's just the way it is. And so I don't know. I really can't answer that, and I don't know. So they
Okay.
could have known each other before, and they may not have, but it's very likely they probably knew of each other at the very least and were social friends in some small capacity and just got closer. But they are very tight.
How has the addition of Joy and Clifton being how is that working amongst the dynamics between yourself and the other castmates?
Woo. Let me just state for the record, I have no issues with Joy. Joy and I are cool. No issues with her. I think she's a cool person. I haven't had any issues with her. I'm getting to know her. Let's just state for the record, it would be hypocritical of myself
I think you
to
froze
judge
for a second.
her, from Ready to Love. I didn't even watch it, so I don't have any preconceived notions. But this was a tough crowd. I was coming into this season with odds stacked against me. So she's a newbie, and newbies are newbies. But
What does
this
that mean? What does that mean? Newbies are newbies.
Newbies are newbies. It's just different. You got to kind of get a lay of the land. She's fortunate that she has the friendship, or they have the friendship of the Tylers. That's an anchor. My situation was a little wobbly, so it made it hard. So I think that makes it a little easier for her. However, there is drama. If you've been paying attention to social media, you know that the ladies of Love and Marriage DC, meaning main cast with two friends of the show, did a photo shoot over the weekend. And we took a lot of different photos, There's pictures of just main cast, there's pictures of just friends, then there's all of us. Well, if you watch social media, you know that the news broke that Joy photoshopped Sherelle and Alicia out of our group photo.
Oh, why?
Without giving away too much, let's just say there is one of the castmates where there is just no relationship whatsoever and they don't get along. And with the other friend, there was a rift that happened. And she didn't want them in the photo.
Oh
And so
wow.
she cut them out.
Oh wow. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess it is.
Intentionally photoshopped them out. Like she even confirmed earlier today Someone said no, there was pictures of just the four of us, which there were, because I
Mm-hmm.
posted one where it was literally a picture taken of just us. No, she took the whole group photo and photoshopped them out.
That's a pretty darn bold statement to be a new cast member, right? When you're looking to make a really warm introduction of who you are, especially when you come off the heels of Ready to Love, right? Because Joy was very, very strong in her stance regarding
Mhm.
some of the women on the show. Can we expect to see that same energy, discord amongst women again regarding men or centered around men?
The men are on, I feel like the men are on their best behavior this season. Um, it's so much going on right now that I'm
So is
just
Joy
like,
problematic? Let's just get to the heart. Is she problematic?
I
To the
don't feel I don't
Okay.
feel like she's problematic.
Okay.
I think what I will say is the fans have to tune in to gain context. And I'm really trying to mind the tea that I give away as not to
Mhm.
get a call from my producer later. But
Gotcha.
what I can say is one of the ladies, there's a long standing,
Mhm.
I don't want to say feud, but there's a long standing history that supports why they are not in relationship at all. The other one is a new rift, and you will literally see all of this play out season 2. Is it justified? I think everyone can make the case for why they feel the way they feel. What Winter has chosen to do is to mind the business that pays her.
Mm. And with that being said, the business that pays you, are you dating?
I am.
Mm. Welcome to the palace. Hmm.
Oh, goodness. This question is always
And he
interesting.
probably watching too.
Oh, goodness. Yes, I am.
Oh, nice. Girl, you were smiling from ear to ear. So describe him without telling us who he is, what he does. Describe him from head to toe for us. Just give us a visual.
Oh, goodness. He's 6'5", milk chocolate. He has locks.
How long? How
Um,
long? How long?
Shoulder length, a little bit
Okay.
above the shoulder. I would
Okay.
say, neck area. So they hang. It's not technically a secret he's on my social media. If you follow me on TikTok, you've seen him. But yeah, basketball player shape, like, nice build and
Mhm.
intellectual, very smart, intelligent. I would say the epitome of a positive Black man.
Love
That's
it. Love
so.
it. How long have you been in a situationship that causes you to smile like this?
You you guys will find out on the show.
Hold on, wait a minute. AC Wilson say, "Child, let me go be nosy." AC, go, 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 hurry up.
Oh,
Okay,
goodness.
so we're gonna find out. Okay. Is this the one that Quick was referring to on the reunion? On the reunion?
Not at all.
Oh, okay.
Not at all. I will say, let's see. You guys get to see this from its inception,
From start to finish.
from start to
You
finish.
smiling real big. So he must be some type of wonderful.
He's a really nice guy. He really,
Okay.
really is.
Can we expect him to show? Because I know the men were very vocal. Can we okay, will he make an appearance on the show?
For sure.
Okay. Can we expect him to let them know that he don't play behind his woman?
For sure.
Okay. That's all we need for now. I think that's good.
Yes.
I have another question for you.
Uh-huh.
Um, AC again. Say, can you give us a little bit of tea on the fight with the girls?
Woo, she's talking about the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I will let you guys know now. I learned when you all learned that that happened. I was not present at all.
Who was all involved?
From
On
what I
camera, even
know,
even if they weren't caught on camera, who was all involved?
what I saw and what I know is that pretty much everyone, with the exception of myself, was present. And so, friends of the show, main cast, everyone was there but me. And so, I think you see Ashley and Arena get into it. You see Joy and Ashley get into it. Um, all accurate. But Winter was not present at the Christmas party. So, all the drama I caused, it's in doses this season. But
I think that's a good position for you.
yes, I was not anywhere to be found when that all popped off. So I learned when everyone else learned, and my mouth was like, yeah. Now,
Wow.
I say some things this season that make me happy to see Arena take the position that she did, because I feel like Arena first season could have stood to stand up for herself more. And so I was happy to see her do that in scene. And so I addressed that season 2. But I have context. I'm not just pulling that out of nowhere. But yeah, I was not present at that event at all.
I
I
love
was
it,
huddled
Winter.
up next to my man. I literally had nothing to do with that chaotic situation.
That's great. I love the fact that you were able to completely look at this thing from a strategic approach and say, you know what? Because we talk about it a lot
Yes,
with Love and Marriage Huntsville. At the end of the day, the focal point should be the well-being of the show.
absolutely.
Is there anyone on the cast that just doesn't get that?
No, I can honestly say that everyone understands, especially from season 1. We get it.
Hmm.
And from what I know about Joy thus far, she gets it. And I think that just goes from them coming over from Ready to Love. Um, there is one loose cannon on the scene, and
Male or female? Male or female?
female. I think
Okay.
you guys will peg her very quickly.
Okay.
Very quickly. She is about the only one who is a wild card in every situation. She was a wild card last night at the premiere. So
What'd she
yeah.
do last night, Winter?
Oh, she was not having it. She made it very well known that she would not take pictures or coincide with who she had an issue with. Yeah.
Was
It was
Carlos
there
King
was a
there?
scene at the restaurant after the premiere, like it was something else. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So that's
They
a
wanna
great
know if
question.
if she's a friend of the
Friend,
show or a a friend.
friend.
Okay. My thoughts are already kind of brewing in my head.
It's a
Was
friend.
Carlos King there at the premiere last night? Did he come?
He was not, but all of our producers were on set. So he was not present, unfortunately, but everyone else was, which was really nice.
How often does Carlos get involved behind the scenes when it
I
comes to production that you know of?
Not too often, and quite frankly, if he gets involved, that usually isn't a good sign. It's either a
Oh.
really, really good sign or a really, really bad sign. Like for instance, I showed up to do my main title shoot, and he was on the screen to welcome me to be a main cast for season 2. So that was a nice surprise. I got an opportunity to get welcomed by him personally. He watches a
That's
lot of our.
lovely. That's very personable.
Yes, very, very kind, in a very
Mhm.
nice way to be welcomed to main cast. But um, he watches our confessionals live a lot of times. He can see us when we're responding and recording. But he doesn't come on set unless he absolutely has to. And like I said, it's either really, really good or really, really bad, where he has to get involved and step in.
That's very helpful. Thank you. Tamara Morgan says Winter is absolutely glowing. Happy for her.
Thank you.
They love it. They say love looks good on you. I have to agree. I have to agree. Um, when it comes to let me go back. So last season, I thought your kids were like the dopest kids that I've seen on reality television. Like your daughter literally had a come to Jesus conversation with you about love and dating and being love bombed. She's like,
Yes.
he love bombed you, and you shouldn't feel bad because he did eight. How did you feel like hearing that come out of your child?
Proud mama moment. And I literally, I love them. That, they're young adults now. She's 21, so she's had a
Mhm.
birthday since the first season aired, and you guys get to see more of a lot more of her this season. I'm just She's made me really, really proud. And it's so funny you're talking about her. She's sitting right on the couch in front
I
of
bet
me,
she's
but
like, wait a
I
minute. She said,
know,
yes, I paid
but
attention. Mhm.
yes. So I just, the kids, they're really, really solid kids. And I say that because sometimes you don't always get that when you have children that go through divorce. And they have just weathered the storm like champs and came out on the other side. So I'm
Yeah.
just really proud of them. You get to see a lot more of them. And I think that's what I love so much about being main cast and full time, is that you do get to dig more into who I am as a person, who I am as a businesswoman. I'm pursuing new endeavors this season. There is a second song coming out this season,
Yes.
and so it's just exciting. I think you guys are getting to see a really healed Winter, a whole Winter, and the part of Winter that makes her a boss. And I'm excited for you all to see that. But I'm also very family oriented. I love my kids. I love being a mom. They're growing up on me, but I love that. So you guys will get to see the kids this season, and I say the kids loosely because they're adults now. But yeah, I'm excited. It's a really, really, it's a good year for me.
It's reflective. So there's a lot of things that you can say and do on reality television. You can say I'm a boss. You can say I'm healed. You can say I love family. But I
Yes,
felt that with your connection with your children. I felt that not only did you love them, but they loved you. And they
yes,
understood you, and just the level of the conversation and the sophistication of what, a 20-year-old at that time. I
yeah,
was like, damn, these kids are sharp. Like I needed friends like that when I was running, out here amok, many,
yeah,
many years ago. But I just thought it was so beautiful, that your kids felt comfortable
yeah.
pouring into you when you
Absolutely.
needed it the most.
Absolutely. And I was taking a beating during, social media was not kind when the information came out. And, some of it is production, and I honestly, I understand it. I don't fault production. There was only so much they could tell without
Hmm.
taking over the whole show and giving a ton of history. But um, in that moment, the kids' response let me know that they understood and they saw it all. It wasn't like they were just bystanders watching things unfold. And they extended grace to me, understanding knowledge of the situation and knowing that I didn't go in it just trying to be reckless, that I went into it with the best intentions. And it was just unfortunate. We all ended up bamboozled at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I just think it just showed so much maturity, but it showed grace. And I think, to me, that is really, it's the essence of humanity, being able to extend grace to your fellow human being when they're having a down moment. It wasn't a high moment for me, it was a low moment for me.
Yeah.
And for my kids to be able to understand that and not, judge me for it, but love me through it. I think it was just a powerful display of really raising your kids to be solid people and solid human beings. And I was really proud.
When you say low, when you say low moment, I want to dig into that just really quickly. Is it because of the way you met him, Or is it the fact that you were having to divorce him?
It wasn't the way I met him. You know, there was a lot of people involved that were in the process that felt like they vetted him. You know, I always like to mention his there are 12 other business partners that got bamboozled as well, but heck, they're out of money. At least I'm able to move on with my life without any attachments, yet they're
Yeah.
still out of, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Oh,
And
wow.
so it wasn't just me that got fooled. There were a number of us that did. Um,
What
but
did
for
he do
me,
with now, if he's allegedly, this is all alleged,
yeah.
living in his mom's basement, what did he do with that money?
We would all love to know. Thankfully, I'm still in contact with a lot of his business partners and still great relationships. They're phenomenal people and really thought they were coming together to further a Black man's cause and
Gotcha.
vision. And so we would all love to know. It's the $1 million question. We don't know. We don't know. Um, excuse me, I really look at it based off of what I've learned and what I know, because I hired a private investigator and I don't know that ever made air. Um,
Okay.
but it almost was like a robbing Peter to pay Paul situation. And it's hard to keep up and stay afloat when you rob Peter to pay Paul. And that's what we
Yes.
suspect was going on. And so we may never know. But they have all moved forward. Thankfully, I've moved forward. But the low moment for me, especially coming from a relationship coach background, I wasn't a relationship coach anymore, but I did do it for a number of years. And I don't just date haphazardly. I was very grounded in my faith. And I really felt like this was an upstanding Christian man of God, whatever you want to call it. And he had the credentials and the people to back him up. It just was a tangled web of lies that, my goodness, we had
Oh,
no idea. My mom still says it blows her mind. It's the craziest thing she's ever been a part of in her 60 plus years of life. But
yes.
it was low for me because I felt like he disrupted my flow and I was in a solid place. I wasn't desperate to be married. I could have done without it if it didn't go the distance, it just didn't. And so to go through that level of deception for what? It just was like, you know, um, it was a low moment for me. And it was low because I was doing so well beforehand and it really disrupted what I had going on. And it forced me to really recreate and reinvent my platform, my brand, and myself, because it caused me to question a lot. And I don't think you go through that situation without being like, dang, let me go back to the drawing board and sure up some things, because I cannot be in that situation again. And I don't ever want to be that green or gullible. Happy to report I have been to said man's house and he does have his own home and he does not live in his parents' basement. So that's a blessing.
Awesome. Real quick, if you could just sum it up, what did you learn from that experience? What are you taking with you as you move forward from having met someone, not seeing, not blaming you, of course, but
Right.
just, damn, if I knew then what I know now, what'd you learn?
Take your time. Take your time. Take your time. If it's real, actually, soundbite. Love was never meant to be rushed. And I feel like it's the biggest lie that we specifically sell Christian women is that if a man knows, he knows, and it shouldn't take him, 2-3 years to know. Love was never meant to be rushed. If it's sincere, if it's real, whatever time it takes is the time that it should take. But love was never meant to be rushed. Take your time and slow down.
I love it. Um, Brown Skin Girl has a question. She says, does production tell you what to do or what direction to go during scenes? Do they kind of nudge you guys along or they kind of let you have the floor and do as you please?
A lot of it is organic. Sometimes we're reminded of what to cover so we can connect the dots.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like we cover a lot. Sometimes you just flat forget, and they
Yeah.
remind us, like, "Hey, make sure we cover this because we got to connect the dots here." And so you just don't want to get caught talking and running your mouth, because that doesn't make sense either with unscripted television. So to kind of guide, we are reminded of different things to discuss so it doesn't get lost in translation and we're able to connect the dots as far as editing goes and we rolling out these episodes to where they make sense.
Do you have an ally on the show? Do you have a number two other than your man? Do you have a homegirl that's gonna have your back this season?
I do.
All right,
I do.
you do.
A home girl and a half. That's what I'll call it for now.
She got a twin, or
A home girl and a half. And the
okay,
half
okay, you're working on that. Okay, got it. You
I,
somebody that's 50-50.
yes. And it will make sense when you watch the show.
Got it. Now, when you learn that Monique, after you saw, because you see what we see when we see it, I think,
Yes.
right? As we
Correct.
watch the episodes, you get to see them. When you saw what you saw and heard what you heard, are you happy she did not come back?
I wouldn't say happy, but
Elated?
not elated. I will
Relieved?
just say I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
I think that's a fair way to say it. I'm not mad at it. I think it could have worked if she had stayed, but I just think it's worked better that she's not.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So I'm not mad at it. I'm not.
Do you feel like there's any rising stars that are
Oh, yes.
positioned to take over?
Oh, yes. Definitely keep your eye on the Duncans. Definitely. Sherelle is a spitfire. She comes in both guns a blazing. And so yeah, Duncans for sure. It would not surprise me if they got bumped up at some point. Not at all.
And Angie says, question, Winter, how do you see how producers edit? Because there is a certain cast member from another show going around saying that she didn't get a good edit. What are your thoughts around I didn't get a good edit and all of that hoopla, basically?
I don't like it. Only because, and I've said this a number of times, I don't like the way I'm edited all the time. However, I know what I signed up for. And one of the clauses in our contracts is that we have no narrative control over how the producers choose to edit you. And so when you sign on the dotted line, you know what you're signing. And so to then complain about how you're edited, it just doesn't make good sense. Not in my opinion. And it's in a lot of ways sometimes unfair to the producers and it's unfair to the editors because we know everybody's paid to do a job and it's reality TV. And so my best advice to people that get into reality TV is don't say what you don't want aired or edited. Don't show what you don't want edited or shown. Like you have control at any given moment. You can choose not to, you can refuse. I mean, there was something I was asked to do at an event of mine. And I said, absolutely not. I'm not going to do it.
Oh, so they do sometimes they'll place, but it's completely up to you. You have free will.
Absolutely, especially if they think it's in line. Remember, they're guides. They're not trying to control, so to speak, but they guide.
There you go. Somebody must have called you. Hold on, you froze, Winter. Take your time. Her device disconnected for just a second. You guys hang in there. We only have a few more moments. We're gonna let her reset her device. Here she is. All right. You good to go, Winter? She'll be right back. You know, that's the good thing about preparing for these interviews with your guest. Just being able to say, if you have technical difficulties, here's what we're going to do. Yeah, see that quick. She's back. Told you. Yes. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Sorry. I'm like, oh goodness.
Oh, no. You've been with me before. That's why I always give a spiel to my guests. If you have technical difficulties, you're good to go. I got it covered. Just come on right back in. So you were just saying that, they can put what they want in front of you, but you have the ultimate free will to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I was asked to do something. That's what I was referring to, excuse me, before I got cut off. And I said, absolutely not. Not the time. It's not appropriate. It's not the time. And I get why they asked. I didn't flip out. I just said, hey, it's not the time. I'm not going to do that. So we always have choice. And I just feel like, okay, you had a choice. I think that oftentimes what we want to excuse away as editing is a lack of accountability for our character.
Say it out loud for the ones in the back. A lack of accountability. You guys heard it here first in the palace. In the palace from Love and Marriage franchise. Oftentimes, when you hear excuses being made, it's because that person may or may not be ready to accept responsibility for their actions. Speaking of, is there anything that you would like to prepare us for when it comes to you? Is there anything we're going to look at you and be disappointed in? Just get it out the way so that we won't have any backlash. Anything that would maybe leave us saying, okay, Winter, what were you thinking?
Absolutely. Probably people gonna side out my nicknames because they do circle back around in the funniest kind of way, might I add. But for people that ain't for nicknames, they're gonna be like, this girl and these nicknames. I said it. No. Honestly, people that are true Winter fans are gonna be like, praise God, this girl has learned how to stand 10 toes down in everything that she has said. She has learned how to take accountability.
That
She
you
has
did.
learned how to take responsibility, and she's learned how to grow and move forward. I think that I make Winter fans very proud this season.
Well, I want to show a clip before we wrap up because you definitely made us proud with this one.
We're going back and forth with all of the details and things like that. But at the end of the day, before you got here, what's going to happen with the marriage?
Let me say something.
You need to sign my papers and give my divorce. Sign these divorce papers and give my divorce. I can see that going at like number 1,000 on the charts.
This is Winter in her own words. Let me also just say that there's no such thing as a clause that will get you out of a marriage once you made a vow, unless there's infidelity.
You've been lying before you got here. Oh, he's been lying for the last 2 years.
This whole situation is way out of hand. I mean, Winter's singing. She's running around the table from Kevin.
She can't sing. She got vocals for days. She can take that one right on to the church.
Yes, she can.
Yeah. Okay. You've been lying before you got here. You've been lying for the last 2 years. You need to sign my papers and get my divorce. Somebody give him a pin in this place.
Yes. Yes, Winter. Yes. I think that was a pivotal moment for you on this show.
It definitely was. It's hard when I see that scene. You know, I did a local news channel a week or so ago, and they played this clip, and the anchor almost could not start the scene. She was just cracking up. It's hard to believe that happened. You know, like, it's like, did you really do that? And it's so impromptu and off the cuff that you couldn't recreate that moment if you tried. And I don't even try to this season, but it definitely was a scene to be seen, season 1.
That was fire. I learned the song, honey. I was singing it. We loved you. I mean, I think that was your introduction to the world. Like, don't play with me.
Yes.
Don't play with me. Anything you would like to leave the audience with? I know we went a little bit over. I like to be respectful of your time. We most certainly appreciate you coming by to kick off the premiere this season 2. Anything you want to leave us with before you tap out tonight?
Make sure you check out my website. The Queen's Table is gearing up for another year of mentorship and community. So check out my website, The Queen's Table. And then I have a new book launching. So stay tuned for new things from me, new music coming out. We're working on a new project. Some of it you'll get to hear through the show, and some of it will be after the show. But I'm just excited. Follow me on all platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. I'm on all the things. And so, yes, I'm just excited. If you have supported me, I just want to say thank you. Queen Sheba, you are one of those. And I'm so grateful. Thank you for having me on. Without hesitation, say the word and I'm here. But I just am so grateful. And the fans have been truly, supportive. I'm trying to get emotional every time I talk about that. It's so terrible, but the fans held me down, and they're one of the main reasons why I am main cast this season. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for the support, and we're going up a little higher this season, so I'm excited about it.
We cannot wait. We love you here. You're more than welcome to come back anytime you want, anytime you're ready. We probably will check in with you periodically as the drama unfolds, and just in case we
Absolutely.
have questions in the palace, right? And we need to know which way to turn and how we need to come and support you. Tamara Morgan says this interview was absolutely amazing and awesome. They love you, Winter. We thank you again for showing up the way you did tonight, and God bless you. And for those of you that want me to run it back, I'm going to let Winter go, and I'm going to run that back one more time. Thank you, Winter. Bye-bye. All right, y'all ready? I'm going to run it back. You ask, and I am here to please.
We're going back and forth with all of the details and things like that. But at the end of the day, before you got here, what's going to happen with the marriage?
Let me say something. Winter.
You need to sign my papers and give my divorce. Sign these divorce papers and give my divorce. I can see that going at like number 1,000 on the charts.
This is Winter in her own words. Let me also just say that there's no such thing as a clause that will get you out of a marriage once you made a vow, unless there's infidelity.
You've been lying before you got here. Oh, he's been lying for the last 2 years.
This whole situation is way out of hand. I mean, Winter's singing. She's running around the table from Kevin.
She can't sing. She got vocals for days. She can take that one right on to the church.
Yes, you can.
Yeah. Okay. You've been lying